So, you're thinking about buying an annuity. Well, Caesar did too. Matter of fact, annuities are from the Roman days, folks. Soldiers, before they went out to fight, they would give a sum of money to the local guy in town, usually the banker kind of guy, whatever they called it back in the Roman days, and he would promise that if they didn't come back, their family would get a stream of income they could never outlive, sort of like an annuity. And that's what it is. Annuities are a way to take a lump sum and turn it into a stream of income. Now, if done right, this annuity stream can be a lifetime stream of income, so you never have to worry about. It's a complex problem these days when we talk about financial planning. Where to put our money? How do I get my money back after I put it somewhere? And what can I do to make sure I'm not making mistakes? The solution is to understand the different types of annuities when we talk about retirement income. And so there are a bunch of different kind of annuities. Let's take a little time and analyze each one. First one is a fixed annuity. A fixed annuity is offered by insurance companies, sort of like a CD at the bank. It'll give you a certain amount of interest for a certain amount of time. That's what a fixed annuity is, sort of like a CD. The beauty here is after that time period or during that time period, you can start taking a yearly income you can never outlive. Now we have variable annuities. They are the bad news cousin in the annuity world. Variable annuities, the value can go up, but it can also go down. It is the only annuity offered that can take your money and dwindle it down because of the market. We don't like these. When we use annuities, we're using annuities to make sure we have a safe amount of money put aside that'll give us and our family lifetime income we can never outlive. If we have that money in a place where it can disappear or go down, it's not safe. So that's why we do not like the variable annuity. Now, they have a fit for some people. Some people like to take risk. In my opinion, if you want to take risk, use the stock market. If you want safety, use a real annuity, a fixed annuity. A fixed indexed annuity is an annuity where your money is safe, your principal is safe, but it ties your return to a specific index. Now, you're not in the market, but you're tied to it. So if the market goes up, you get to share in that gain. If the market goes down, you don't lose anything. So you get to share in the gain and you don't share in the losses. That's a pretty good place, I think. Now, immediate annuities is another annuity. Immediate annuities is when you give us a lump sum to an insurance company and they immediately start giving you money back. Compare that to the deferred annuity. Deferred annuity is you give an insurance company a lump sum and then down the road you'll take money from that. Or maybe you'll never take money. Maybe you'll just use it to grow safely and then roll that somewhere else. So there's pros and cons to each one of these. An immediate annuity, basically, you got the income coming, then the income's never going to go up. It's going to be the same amount of income for the rest of your life. If you put a lump sum with an insurance company in a deferred annuity, though, you get to share in the gains, especially if it's a fixed indexed annuity, you're sharing the gains of the market. So in theory, your value will be a lot higher down the road when it's time to take income, so therefore your income will be higher. And you can even have increasing income if done right. There's a lot of good ways to have your money in an annuity. Now, the bad thing about annuities is you have a surrender schedule there. In other words, you can't put all your money in and take all your money out the next day. You do have liquidity, though, something called a surrender fee inside each annuity. And it's usually on a sliding scale by years. Let's say you have a 10-year surrender period on an annuity. So the first year, your surrender fee would be 10% of the value. The next year, 9%, all the way down to 0 surrender fees. The reason why insurance companies do this, they take the money you give and they invest this in longer-term vehicles. So they can't have you taking your money in and out because the insurance company would go broke. And insurance companies are not in business to go broke. This is looked at as a drawback by some, but if it's a 10% surrender fee and you have $100,000 in your annuity, how much money could you take if you really, absolutely really needed it the next year? You could take out 90%. Not recommended, but it's there for you if you do. So when people say annuities are illiquid, they don't know what they're talking about. 90% liquidity on a 10% surrender schedule? That's pretty solid liquidity. Compare that to the stock market. Let's say you have $100,000 in the stock market and the market goes down 40% the next year. Now you have $60,000 in the stock market. How liquid is your investment in the stock market to those people that say stocks are 100% liquid? Well, you can take your $60,000 out, but you lost $40,000. So you had a $40,000 surrender fee in the stock market. Be very careful where you have your money and be very careful who's telling you where to put your money. I'm a fiduciary in my firm, and we have risk and safety. We like risk. We like managed stock accounts, but we also like safety with income. I don't have any retirees I talk to that complain about having too much income coming in. A lot of you watching could have that same situation and position if you make sure you have your money in the right place. Having all your money in a risk investment many times is not the place for you. Before we put our money anywhere, we need to assess our retirement income goals. How much do we need for retirement? How much money do we have put aside in other places that's going to give us some of that income? Social Security, for instance. Have you done a Social Security maximization strategy yet? Making sure that you get the most bang for your Social Security buck. Then when we figure out how much Social Security we're going to get, we have an income gap, because we look at the money we're getting coming in and the money we're going to need to do the things we want to do in retirement. By the way, have you sat down and looked at all the things you want to do in retirement and then put a price tag to them in today's dollars and also factored inflation in there? If you haven't factored inflation into what you're going to need, you don't have a real plan. We have seen how important it is to factor in inflation in our plans. But we also need to do a risk assessment. How much risk can we really afford to take? Evaluating your risk tolerance, very important to most people, because a lot of people I talk to have way too much money at risk and claim they can withstand a market downfall until the market downfall comes and they realize they could not have taken that kind of risk they took. Let's do this before it happens, not after. Inflation is a big thing to consider in any retirement plan. We've seen that inflation monster creeping up. We need to make sure to build our plans to have inflation protection. Making sure that our retirement savings has that inflation protection too is vitally important. We also look at some of the annuity options that have inflation protection in there as well. I like to have 3 or 4 different annuities with 3 or 4 different streams of income coming in retirement. You never have to really worry about inflation, because if you need more money, you activate another one of those income streams. Fees and charges are very important to look at too. Some annuities have hidden fees, some don't. We need to make sure that you understand exactly what fees you're paying and why. There's another fee that some have, and it's for an income rider, and this is beneficial to a lot of people. It'll grow your return every single year, your principal, by about 8%, anywhere between 7 and 8% for retirement income. So it's called an income rider, and this will give you the protection, the peace of mind, knowing that you have a certain amount of income that's going to come to you and your family every single year for the rest of your life. That gives you peace of mind. And approaching retirement with peace of mind, it's priceless, folks, to see what you could really accomplish if you're in control of your own money. Let's do a research report for you. Let's look at where you are. Let's find out what you really need, and let's put together a stream of income that will give you that financial viability for you and your family all the way through retirement. Decision making is tough these days, but if you have all the facts in front of you and you know what's going on in every single one of these devices, you can maximize your return and you can maximize your benefit by putting yourself in control. I'm Coach Pete. Look forward to seeing you next time on more Annuity Avenue.